Good afternoon everybody. Today is Friday and it's about 5:15 in the evening. So you'd be forgiven for thinking a bit late in the day, Helen, to start your weekly vlog. Merlin's wondering who I'm talking to. He's not used to me vlogging yet. A couple of reasons why I haven't started yet this week is, number one, been really busy editing last week's vlog because I was learning Final Cut Pro as I went along, so just had to keep stopping, looking things up, figuring things out. So of course that took a bit longer than usual. Plus, while I'm catching you up on, oh no, he's winding me around a circle. Sorry if I'm making you dizzy. I'm making myself dizzy. Yeah, so all the time I'm adding these clips in from bits I've filmed in the past. It's also going to be taking a bit longer than usual, I expect. I have just come across this most beautiful patch of forget-me-nots amongst the stinging nettles, so I just had to stop and show you that. Isn't that pretty? Oh dear, and I'm a bit out of breath because we've just climbed a hill. So what was I saying? So that's one reason why I haven't vlogged yet. Also, in between doing that, I've been painting the living room, which I'll tell you a bit more about later. But we're supposed to be going away in the camper van right now. Oh, that's gross. A little bit mouldy, but it still smells in here with the wood oil, which is really nice. I really like that smell. Okay, got a bit of cleaning to do. Steering wheel is gross. Why does it get mouldy like that? Oh my gosh, look at the gear stick. I don't understand why that gets mouldy. Okay, I'm gonna just leave it to air for the day. Oh my gosh, I've just realised I've walked into one of those thick cobwebs. Oh, we would have been halfway to Cornwall, I expect. But Chris has got ill. We think it's kidney stones. He went to the doctors yesterday, they can't confirm it. 2 weeks to get a hospital appointment to actually find out. I had kidney stones a few years ago. I don't know if I was still vlogging then. But the trick is to go to A&E and then they'll get you a hospital appointment the same day. Oh, swapped arms. Also, my arm muscles are not at vlogging power yet. So yeah, unfortunately, he's in a bit too much pain. And just in case there are any problems with that, we decided it's probably best not to go. We only made that decision this morning, so I'm not very good at spontaneous. I planned on going to Cornwall. So that was going to be my weekly content for this time. So then I arranged to go for a walk with some friends, with our dogs, and then that was cancelled because of the weather. I've just popped out. I've been really, really lucky. It's just sort of spitting with rain a bit, but it's not too bad at the moment. I think I've timed that well. So I'm a bit like, I'm not sure what to do with myself. So yeah, I'm not sure what to do with the rest of my day. Probably do some sewing. I'm really keen to get started on my next project, which I think is going to be like a patchwork skirt. And I will take the opportunity to finish the living room. Like I said, I'm painting it. And I've got a big catch-up video, and I looked earlier and I started this video in May 2019, so I'm going to cut to that clip in a minute. Yeah, it starts 2 years ago, but I thought I may as well actually put that in because I give an overview of the room. It makes sense to introduce that whole bit. I hope it's not too confusing putting in these old bits here and there. I do intend on stopping those types of video where I do a whole project all in one go and save up all the clips. I think it got a bit confusing for me editing wise, and probably is a bit confusing for you when 1 minute it's 1 year, the next minute it's another year. So once I've caught up on some of these things that I think you'll be interested in, I'm just going to try and keeping you updated as I go along with these sorts of things, you know. I think that might be the way forward for this channel. I've got another hill ahead of me. This is the problem with living where I live. There's always a hill to climb. So I'm going to say bye for now. Should I put that clip in now? Yes, because I think probably later on this evening or possibly tomorrow now, I'll be finishing up the living room. Sorry if I'm walking around in circles, it's because I've got the lead in one hand. I'll hopefully get that room finished, and then I'll show you the finished thing in the next couple of days. Okay, enjoy watching this sort of montage of clips put together of doing up and changing around our living room. Hope you enjoy watching. Hello everyone, welcome to my living room. I'm planning on doing a few changes in here, so I thought I'd bring you along with me and show you what I'm up to. Some of the things are quite small. I will probably get around to doing that this weekend, and some things will have to wait until I've got a bit more reserves of energy. So this could potentially be one of those videos that takes me months and you'll be wondering, why on earth are Easter decorations still up in the background? So I'll just show you around a bit and show you what my plans are. So let's do a sort of before sort of sweep of the room. This is more or less what it looks like that side. Yeah, there's our Easter decorations. They'll be going obviously by the time you see this. And that's the room that side. And yes, I am aware of the state of this wall. We do plan on getting this whole bit of the room replastered, hopefully before the end of the year. And of course, get our ceiling sorted, because it's this lovely attractive Artex at the moment, which is falling down in the corner. Nice. This rug does normally cover up this hole. Yeah, we need to get that sort of thing repaired. There's other holes over here under this chair as well. But for now, I'm just sort of doing cosmetic bits. I'm going to move the dog bed under the radiator, move these old trunks to there. I do love all the old rustic textures in here. I like the old wood floorboards and the flagstone floor and these sort of rusticy bits here, and the iron candle sconces there. Candle holders, sconces, I'm not sure. And of course we've got the big old beam in the ceiling, so there's lots of nice rusticy bits, which I do love, but it's all a little bit blokey, so I want to shabby chic it up a little bit, add a bit of girliness to this room. I've also decided I'm going to paint this part of the wood here. These are actually shelf boards that came from Cheddar Caves, where the big rounds of cheese were left to mature in the caves. So there you go, that's where those were reclaimed from. And originally we wanted to sort of keep that as a, I suppose, as a feature. It's nice quality wood, but I think it dominates the room quite heavily. So I want to paint that to match the walls, and we'll just leave the door. I think I still want to leave the door wooden with the steps underneath. And also this door and this door frame, I'm going to paint this as well. I mean the stain that the previous owners used on the wood, I'm trying to get the colour, there we go. It's this really sort of dated 1980s cherry red wood stain. And that's what they used everywhere around the house, so definitely that needs painting. And I think that's it for now, but we'll see how we get on, and if I can think of anything else to do, I will certainly do it and show you along the way. Okay, I am in a dilemma now because I have turned this rug around and it doesn't look any better than it did before. These are foot wide elm boards, which are quite rare and quite valuable. It would be such a pity to completely cover that up with rugs. I'm in a dilemma. Let me know please in the comments, what would you do? Would you just cover up the boards? Would you get rid of a rug altogether? The thing that the rug does is it does bring some brightness into this room. It's a dark room anyway, and having a pale coloured rug does make the room feel brighter and obviously a lot more comfortable. I know the kids aren't small anymore, but we still sit on the floor to play with the animals, and we do have kids around to stay sometimes. Oh dear. It didn't take them long to get settled. So I actually started this video maybe even 2 years ago. I was just going to make some small changes around this room. I was just going to do a little bit of painting here and there, change some of the furniture around, just move things around. And I started that video and I never really did what I'd planned to do. So since those clips were filmed, our plans have got much bigger and grander. For a start, you can see we've got some new furniture, which we only collected a couple of days ago. We're really pleased with it, but there's still some changes to do to it, I think. I just want to update the woodwork. The wood around the edges is a bit orange, and anyway, the main thing is going to be happening behind me because Chris decided he wanted a new television. So this is it. It's a monstrosity and we argued over it. I lost that argument. He insists that the television we have already is tiny for these days, these modern times. I'm not going to go into all my arguments about that now. The fact is, we've got a humongous, embarrassingly huge TV, and the only way I agreed to doing this was to get a frame, those ones that make it look like a photograph or a painting, so that hopefully people come in and hopefully see a piece of art rather than a monstrosity of a television. And the only way we had space for it in this room was to build a new wall. So, see behind me, we've got this space here where the television is nicely sort of tucked underneath, quite discreetly, but it is a mess underneath. We said we were going to block the bottom half in. We never got round to it, so this time we're actually just blocking the entire bit under the stairs in. Chris is on his way now to Wickes to buy the wood to build this wall, and then the new telly will hang on there. He's going to do some built-in cupboards, hopefully, so we can tuck all the bits and bobs, have we still got an Xbox, PlayStation, possibly a DVD player? I think we're probably going to be getting rid of that. I think if I can play my DVDs in the PlayStation. Anyway, so that's happening. I'm going to completely paint the room. We're going to go navy blue. Oh, I'll show you my paint samples in a minute, but I don't think any of them are quite right, so I think I need to order some more tester pots. What else have we done already? We took out the purple tub chair that used to sit there, and we've got that chair instead. And this chair here, we've had that chair for, God, do I even really want to work it out? We've had that chair for 25 years. It's covered in throws because there's a tear in the seat and some of the stuffing is showing. It was from IKEA, we got it for our first house. It's actually really, really comfortable, and there's a lever so you can pick your feet up, but it doesn't fit in this old house. This bit, this living room where I'm standing in, was built in 1640. That's a pretty old house, this bit. So we are dealing with big flagstone floors, big elm floorboards, and old plaster and that sort of thing. So hopefully you'll enjoy watching us carry on with the renovations. We need to get electricians in to move the plug sockets, change the light switches, do some plastering, a whole load of stuff. Yeah, I hope it goes well. Here we are with our testers so far. We've got Johnson's Midnight Sapphire. We decided that was a bit too weak and a little bit too green. We've got Craig and Rose Lido Blue, too purple. Home Base Blue Nighttime, far too teal. And then, so it's between these two. We've got Dulux Sapphire Salute, which is nice, but I think it's a little bit too soft. And then we've got Crown Midnight Navy, and that's my favourite so far. But I do quite like this one. I like the softness of it, but I kind of wanted rich. So, I don't know, maybe we could try and find something a little bit in between. And then we've got a couple of wild cards, which was Rain's idea actually, to go a sort of burgundy. So this is Farrow and Ball Brinjal, and this is Crown Addiction. I like these colours, they're interesting, because obviously everybody is doing navy blue living rooms, and I would have quite liked to have done something different, but we've wanted to do navy blue for so long actually. It's just a more restful colour. This is quite energising. I still like it. I might use it in the kitchen on some furniture, but just let's take a moment to look at the difference between the Farrow and Ball and the others. It was so watery. And I've just painted our bathroom in Farrow and Ball Stiff Key Blue, which is a dark navy. Still a bit too much green in it, but it did take me several coats. I got really quite disappointed with it. I think they've changed their formula. It is not what it used to be. I think they've got greedy and watered it down. So I might try Little Green Paint Company for a posher one. I don't know. Still haven't tried the B&Q own brand one yet either, but so far I think Crown is winning, but Dulux is good too. Ah, hello. And let me just show you the new sofa. Now, a little bit disappointed. The colour wasn't quite right on my computer screen. As you can see, it's more of a just faded red. I was expecting, let me show you over here. I was expecting this colour. Hello, Tinkerbell. But it's like a fuchsia pink, like a almost a plummy. That's the colour I thought the new chairs would be. So I am a little bit disappointed in the colour, I'll be honest. But I still like it. Right, we've got a new settee here. And we've moved the barrel chair to that corner. The chair it came with in that corner. A whole load of crap has come out of there. Look at all of this. We've got 2 full boxes, big boxes of DVDs, video players. Has you started filling this one up as well? Yeah, wires and things like that. The cabinet thing is just sitting there at the moment. And it just shows, makes me have second thoughts. I hope we're doing the right thing, because that looks so spacious like that. It makes the room so much wider. But the problem is, it's not a very easily usable space. So I think we are doing the right thing. But it is so interesting now I can get here, seeing all the quirky historical things. Like, I don't know if you can see how curved that wall is. Bit of a beam there. We've got this. There's a lot of dog slobber on the walls. Still from Loki we need to clean off now that we can get to it. A lot of dust on this. This bit of wall is strange. I mean, that's a solid bit of the wall. Yeah, we're thinking about keeping the top bit open, because that might be just a little bit quirky. Okay, so that's our progress so far. Having a look, Tinkerbell. It's a little bit different. Although we have it, the new telly is on the wall, the new frame, I think, from Samsung, I think. And this is one of the free pictures that we're allowed to use. It only comes with a few, like 24 pictures. After that you have to buy a subscription, which I think is a bit out of order, but there we are. You can upload your own ones for free, so we might do that shortly. And Chris has finished the wall, so there we are. I think he's done a really good job. So in here, because that goes right down to the floor, we'll have like a trolley that we can wheel in and out with storage. And then on this side, if I can get it open, we're gonna try and do like touch spring openings, so that don't need to have a handle on the front there. But we shall see. So he's got himself a shelf racking unit thing. And he's also put a shelf up here. So that's where the subwoofer is, behind the tellies. They were sort of utilising some of the space behind there. And then that goes all the way through. The next cause of contention was the sound bar. Because as soon as you've got a sound bar under the telly, even if you did think that was a picture and not a telly, you see a sound bar underneath it and it becomes obvious, doesn't it? We weren't sure whether to have it here or further down. We went with further down, and then we went to the reclamation yard and found this long old bench. We've been to the reclamation yard for things before. Sometimes we're lucky, but most of the time we don't find exactly what we're looking for. This is exactly what we're looking for. So I'll show you soon, but this fits right under there. We did get the bench before he put that up, so we did measure it properly. We did measure it to fit there. So it looks like it's sitting on the bench, and you might not realise that it's like a speaker thing. That works out quite well. Another thing we've bought is, see where the floor changes from these lovely elm boards to quite modern pine. Don't know why or when this was done. We do suspect that the staircase used to come right out to there, or perhaps there was a hall with different flooring. I don't know. Anyway, we've bought a runner type carpet type rug to put across there to try and sort of disguise it a bit. And today I'm going to paint the wood surrounding the telly, so I'm really looking forward to seeing how that's going to look. Okay, this might be helpful if you're thinking of painting a room blue. So we've got some more samples. This is all Little Green Paint Company. We've got here Hicks Blue, Woad, Royal Navy, and oh, I've got these the wrong way around, Dock Blue. And then we've got a Wickes own brand, Admiral. None of these are quite right at all. So we decided to go back to this one, which was my favourite before anyway, which is the Crown Midnight Navy. That is pretty much the colour I was looking for, like a true blue. It's not very purple, it's not very green. And then we couldn't find it. We can't find it in stock anywhere. I don't know if Crown are going out of business or whether they're just major factory delays at the moment, but we couldn't get it. So in the end, we went with our second choice, which was the Dulux sapphire salute, and I can't show you my sample card of that because it fell down the back of the radiator. I hope we've done the right thing. It's a big choice. It's a big decision.
Sure it's going to be for me. It's actually brighter inside my house than it is outside today.
As you might expect from me, doing things in the wrong order. Now just added the wood filler. So that's the finished, well, not finished because I haven't sanded it yet, but that's the newly plastered patch that was really bad. I don't know if I showed up close how bad it actually was, but really pleased with it actually. So today, I haven't been doing this for very long, but I carried on. This particular patch of wall was particularly bad, and I did all around the window because there were cracks along there, so that was a little bit fiddly. And now I've just done this little patch. Oh, that's not very smooth. I'll go over that again. And I think I'm going to next do sort of a bit over this. That's particularly bad. I'm also trying to fill in this sort of gap here to make this smooth, like I've done there. So going along, it meets the top like it does there. And then I'm just going to go over this wall. I'm doing the worst bits, like perhaps just smoothing down these bits that are particularly bad. I'll just sort of try and smooth them out a little bit, try and smooth that bit out a little bit. And this is actually washed, but this type of wall is not easy to clean. So, you know, we're just gonna paint over it basically. That's the way we do it around here. So I've got some more holes to fill and some screws to get out. Helen, out the way. Problem is I have to tire him out before I can get going. And then by then I'm tired out myself. He's got the bloody dishcloth again. That's what I was cleaning the skirting boards with. Thank you, Merlin. Definitely need more places in this room to prop the camera. This morning I've been sanding the plaster and stood back and thought, actually, do you know what, this looks quite good. So I'm going to continue. I'm going to do the whole of that wall and a section of this wall here. So yeah, I'm just going to carry on because it looks so much better than what it was before, and it will be so much easier to clean. Yeah, so obviously my attempts are nowhere near as good as a professional plasterer, but I'm actually getting the sort of effect that we like. It's not quite as manageable and uncleanable as the really rough texture I showed you before. That wall there, that one there, it's just too straight and flat. The just really flat modern plaster walls just don't look quite right. I mean, I'm almost tempted to keep going and go over all the smooth bits and make them rougher, but I don't think I'll bother with that. It's quite nice to have a little bit of texture and a little bit of unevenness over here. And by the way, the stuff I'm using is Polycell Ready Mix Plaster Repair. Well, the electrician has recently left and he has moved the 2 plug sockets we've had, because I don't know if I mentioned this, but this section of the room was a kitchen when we moved here. So the 2 plug sockets were at normal sort of kitchen counter type kitchen counter height, and so they were bugging me. They were just bugging me being too far up in the wall. So I'm really glad that has been sorted, and even gladder that I think we've actually found an electrician that we like, that did a good job at a good price and seemed normal. We haven't had much luck with electricians so far.
Because they just really couldn't understand what I was doing.
Okay, the plaster is now sanded. I did move to an electric sander, which helped, apart from the fact that our sanders got so old that the sanding pad keeps falling off, but never mind. It was still better than what I was doing by hand, so it doesn't look all that great close up, but I'm quite proud of it. And so now I'm going to paint this corner because this is where our Christmas tree is going to go. So I'm going to get started here next and then carry on with the bit of plastering that needs to be done on the plug socket, there. And we've got a damp patch where there's a chimney the other side of this wall here, down there. So I'm going to give that a little coat of plaster as well. Task up in this corner, which is above the door to the kitchen. There's just a whole load of holes, so I'm filling them with the plaster. Gradually getting there. So this is me standing by the door into the room. This corner is done, and this is something you haven't seen yet. We have a new shelf, if I can get it to focus. So we went to the timber yard at the weekend and bought this lovely sycamore piece of wood, and Chris cut it to size, and I think I'm going to wax it to protect it, so I hope that doesn't alter the colour. So let me take you through all the mess. The Christmas tree in the box and to the other side of the room where we now have a windowsill. It looks so lovely. It's one of those projects that I think, why on earth did we not do this sooner? It looks so nice, much better than just the plain concrete it was. This still needs sanding, but I plastered it in so it looks like part of the building. And yeah, I'm going to wax that again today, so that's another job to do today. And the Christmas tree is going up today. So I've got a lot to do, so I've really got to crack on. I'm wondering whether now to tell you about the paint. I love using the Dulux paint. It's so creamy, it's so lovely to use. 2 coats covers perfectly. I don't need to worry about it once the 2 coats are on. But, and there's a big but, I don't like the finish. I really, really don't like the finish. To the point where I'm actually thinking about completely repainting this room after Christmas. I think I have made a mistake here. It's just so shiny, and this is the matte version, and it's shinier than the washable Farrow and Ball paint that I've got upstairs, which is shinier than the matte Farrow and Ball. I don't know, maybe it's just because I'm used to Farrow and Ball paint, but I don't like the reflections. I thought that by painting the walls dark blue, all the imperfections and things would actually show less. But they show more because of the reflections. I hate it. I actually hate it. I'm gonna go and get myself a posh paint. Don't know what, because Farrow and Ball don't do the right colour. I'm really disappointed. But I look around this room and I don't like it. I think it looks too modern. It doesn't fit the age of the house. Right, as you can see, it is decorated for Christmas now. It's in fact Christmas Eve. It looks so magical. So I've just done my Christmas little clean around. It's still not perfect and there's still stuff about, but yeah, look, we've got a Christmas scene up on the new telly, which is kind of cool. And it's a sunny day, which is the first one we've had in ages, so it's nice to actually see the room without having to have the lights on. This colour wall, I like it in daylight, I'll be honest, but I'm definitely going to change it. Also not very impressed with the fact, look how badly it's scratched. Just putting this picture on the wall, that is so bad. So I'm not particularly impressed with the finish of the Dulux paint either. Yeah, definitely going to try something new as soon as the decorations have gone. I have to say, I'm loving the pink and the silver against the blue. I think that really pops. I love our new furniture against the blue. I think that looks really nice. We bought some new curtains which fit absolutely perfectly. That's the length. I mean, we could hardly get better. I do like it puddling on the floor a little bit, but that'll do. That'll do. For second-hand curtains, I think that's not a bad fit. This curtain on this end from my study, I only had one. Unfortunately, I made a cloak for threads of a fairy tale out of the other one, which is really annoying. It is really annoying actually, because I bought another pair. They were totally the wrong size, so I'm going to have to resell those, I think. For now, until we find a pair the right size, This one is doing fine. It's big enough to go across this window. And look, you can see in this light how badly the reflections on this paint show all of the unevenness of the walls even more. Okay, well that's the update for now. Okay, so today is the 20th of April and this is the colour we're going to go for, which is Hicks blue, and it looks quite pale there, particularly in comparison with the other blue. But it's really weird. Look, I'm going to pan over to that wall there. On that wall there, it's the same blue, but it looks so much darker. It almost blends into the other blue. Again, an example of how the blue paint around it is so shiny and the matte paint in the middle is properly matte. I have to admit, I've got quite used to this dark blue. It's not, doesn't seem so bold and in your face as it did when we first painted. We've just got used to it, I think. And Chris thinks it's just grey. He doesn't see any blue in it at all, but I think when it's all done, I think he'll see it a bit differently. Oh, I suppose I'm just nervous of doing the wrong thing again. And part of me just wants to go back to the pale blue that it was before. I did love that pale blue. Anyway, too late. I'm not going back now. I'm just gonna get myself a drink of water, get changed into my painting clothes, and then I'm gonna get started today. Isn't that right, Merlin? We're gonna do it today. I just have to show you this. I was walking past, it's 10 to 9 at night, and the colour of the sky outside is the same colour as the walls inside. And I have to say, the effect from here, I mean, it's always a shame that this camera does, no, it's not a shame because it means I can film later at night, but this camera does brighten things up much more than it is in real life. But the effect is actually quite incredible walking past. The bluebells in this garden smell amazing this evening. So it's the eve of May Day and it's an old custom to leave a little bit of your dinner out for the fairies. So I'm coming down to the bottom of the garden to do that. If the fairies dwell anywhere in this garden, it'll be down here somewhere. And here you go, fairies. Have a little bit of my stir fry. I always keep a lookout from the corner of my eyes for a fairy around May Day, just in case, you never know. Apart from Midsummer, around May the 1st, or Beltane, as it's sometimes still called amongst pagans, is often when you're most likely to spot a fairy. Giving them a little bit of your dinner appeases the more mischievous amongst them, and so no trouble will come to you around that time. Morning, it's Saturday and merry Beltane. It's May the 1st. It's actually quite a nice day today. It's such a shame Chris is not well. So yesterday he was in bed all day yesterday trying to get comfortable. He's still in pain, but he's now set himself up in the living room playing computer games for the whole day probably, so I'm not going to be able to get in there to carry on with the painting. I'd rather wait until he's not there and listen to podcasts that I want to listen to. So I shall do some sewing today instead. I'm sorry if I'm looking really tired. It's because I am, because as Chris is not sleeping well, then therefore I'm not sleeping well. So I'm just feeling a bit sort of low in energy today. So I think it's not a bad day to have a sewing day instead of more physical activity. I think I'll just, yeah, take it easy today and then catch up with the living room. Hopefully I'll get rid of him tomorrow and I can finish that off because I would like to finish the vlog on a Sunday evening and keep that routine of 1 week on, 1 week 1 week filming, 1 week editing. So okay, so I think I said yesterday that I wanted to start a patchwork skirt. So these are the fabrics I've gathered. I'm having second thoughts about this one. I don't think I'm going to use that after all. So we've got this tunic, this pair of salwar trousers, that'll be the main one. So I'm just trying to match up everything in a similar tone of dark blue. So we've got this old t-shirt of mine here, a scrap of this blue lacy dress. I'm not sure that velvet goes, possibly the velvet, and we've got some navy silk satin as well. So that's what we're starting with. I've got a strip of, oh, this is lovely navy silk here, and we'll just dive into my scrap box and see what we can find. It's another scrap heap challenge. Right, well I've got to this point and I'm getting restless. I'm not going to get the skirt sewn together, but I'm pleased with the progress today. And obviously there's going to be, it's always the end, the things that you think that you're nearly finished, and then it's all the details at the end that take ages. So there's more work to be done on this, but I'm happy with the progress I made today. And yeah, like I said, I'm feeling restless, so I'm now going to go and paint some of the edges of the living room that still need doing. It's actually been quite frustrating how long it's taken me to do this living room. You'll probably notice on Facebook that May is usually the month where invisible illnesses have their awareness days. Do you bring friends or frenemies? Chronic illnesses as well. And that includes hypothyroidism or hypothyroid disease. And that's what I've got, and I've talked about my struggles with it in the past. A couple of years ago I did a big sort of chat about it. It mainly affects me because of my weight and my energy levels. That's my biggest day-to-day problem. So something like painting the living room just takes me ages because I just keep having to stop. I can do a bit and then I have to stop and then have a rest, and then a bit later I can start again, or sometimes I just get to the point where I simply can't do any more that day, and it's just incredibly frustrating. But anyway, I more or less got there in the end. Hello everyone, I really wanted to end this vlog with the finished living room, but I've already run over. It's Tuesday today and I should have finished filming this week on Sunday, so I'm just gonna have to leave it here. And what I might do is end with some clips. I'll carry on painting through the evening and hopefully get some of the living room put back together, but we are not gonna get painted around the television because Chris is not up to picking that television up off the wall. Yeah, Chris is still not well, but the doctors now think it might not be kidney stones, which I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing, so I don't know. We shall have to wait it out and see, but he's got to wait 2 weeks for a scan to find out. So yeah, in the meantime we just have to hope the pain gets better quickly, but that is annoying. Oh, the other thing I wanted to say was, as this vlog is now rolling over a little bit, last week's vlog went live this morning, and I do want to reassure you, don't worry, we didn't give Merlin human chocolate. There were so many clips of Merlin that I think there was one where I explained that it is dog chocolate, in inverted commas, an Easter egg, a Scooby-Doo Easter egg. So he hunted for his while we were hunting for ours, and it was very cute. Don't worry, we did not give him human chocolate. I should have anticipated that, but I obviously forgot that I deleted the bit where I say it in the camera in the clip. So yeah, so if you were worried, don't be, it's absolutely fine. But thank you for your concern, and thank you for all your other comments that you've been leaving me on the first 2 videos. It's been so nice. I feel so warmly welcomed back. I really do. And yeah, so thank you very, very much. I do appreciate that. Yeah, I'm glad you've enjoyed the two that have gone up so far, and I hope you continue to do so. And if you hadn't done already, please hit the subscribe button. Do give the video a thumbs up too. That would be great. That would really help me out. And I'll see you again next time. Take care. Bye.